told you I never do life. I was wrong.
What up, lifers? Welcome back. Doing time, season
Doing
2,
time.
episode 3. We up in the house. We got our special co-host tonight, Shaw Elemental. Speak the Rebel kind of had a little scheduling mishap, so we got Shaw in the house tonight,
I like
Always got
Shaw's
my name
room
back,
better.
so
and we got our friend, original lifer over here, 8ch20wens, South Florida's own.
Salute, lifers in the
Hey.
motherfucking building, dog. I'm happy to be doing time with the lifers tonight. What's good, fellas?
What's good, man? What's good?
chilling, man.
I thought I was gonna show some dope records in the background. My man, freaking Shaw Elemental, comes through with the freaking whole man cave in there. It's freaking, I want to
Hey.
move to where he lives, mommy.
Right? I want a room like his.
Straight up, yo,
How's it going, man? For people that don't know you, give us a little background about yourself.
H2O in South Florida zone. I represent Soul Flow, Vice City Cypher, WVCC Radio. We started that joint 3 years ago, right before the pandemic hit. I got tired of sharing music on Facebook and nobody freaking commenting on it in the bottom and stuff. So I'm like, fuck it, bro. I'm just gonna collect all the music that I'm listening to through the day and curate my own little freaking radio show. And I started looking up, how to do a radio show online and stuff. And we trialed and error a couple of things, and we've been going 3 years strong now on Twitch, man. Really doing our thing with WVCC Radio. I've been representing hip hop in South Florida since 1995 as an MC, as a fan, just supporting the community out here. We have a thick underground hip hop community out here that even if they didn't want to be part of the underground community, even the cats who were trying to make pop records at that time, make radio friendly records, they were part of our underground community of just independent artists trying to break out and stuff. And we have a long, rich history like you guys have up there in Massachusetts, man. And whatever, man. We've just been repping hip hop down here in South Florida since 1990. And now we're representing in a big way through Vice City Cypher and WVCC Radio out here.
Yeah, it's a totally different flavor down there. I actually lived in Daytona Beach.
Okay.
Or South Daytona Beach from 93 to like late 97.
Okay. What, college?
No, I was in high school down there and shit. My father moved down there.
Okay.
So I ended up going to live with him for a few years. But
why the fuck would you move back up to fucking Boston?
I'm actually from Rhode Island.
Oh shit! You're from Rhode Island, B.
Yeah.
Okay.
But just to get away from there too, because Florida. You know how Florida is. Florida can trap you.
Yeah. It's not all vacation and
crazy.
That's what I say. Like especially about Daytona Beach, people are like, "Oh my God, that must have been paradise," and it's like, so 2 weeks out of the year, it's really nice. So I'm like, but other than that, you guys don't know Florida.
That shit's skittish as fuck.
Now, how'd you like get into that scene? And like, how that scene is, and it's kind of cutthroat down there. It's more cutthroat like down there than it is anywhere else. So how is that coming up?
Well, my introduction into the local hip hop scene in Miami came through college radio. Right out here, we used to have two big college stations, the UM station for University of Miami, WVUM. On Thursdays, they used to do the Thursday night hip hop shop, and FIU, Florida International University out here, used to have shows on Monday and Friday and Saturday. Right. And my peoples used to host a couple of those shows. Before I started meeting people that were hosting the shows, I was just a fan listening in, just like any of us listening to whatever local radio station is playing real hip hop. Because we would get it from the rap cities, we'd get it from the Yo MTV raps and stuff. But when you're like, okay, there's something doper than now what all the Biggie that they're playing, all the Jay-Z that they're playing. What's this Ja Rule shit, right? Freaking, where's the dope shit? And then you come across these underground hip hop stations where you get your first taste of a company flow, of a Deep Puddle Dynamics, right? And you're like, oh shit, what the hell is this? A freaking early Slug and Dose One, and you start digging and going out to the record stores and meeting the people out there that are into it. And you start finding out, there's B-boys out here. All the graffiti that's out here, it comes from a crew of people that I go to school with and shit. Oh shit, bomb. And I mean, the area that I moved to in 94, 95 is an area out west Miami called Kendall. And we represent Kendall real hard out here. It's like our home of East Coast hip hop, where all the other hoods in South Florida are really Southern gangster trap, freaking Trick Daddy, freaking Luke Booty bass influence. Street.
Tony, you said Trick Daddy and then Booty too.
Yeah, well, I mean, because that's all the history of Miami, and I mean, I see how in any other region Trick Daddy would seem Booty because
no, not because of that, because he was saying he likes to get his booty ate.
Oh shit!
That's why, not because of that. Because
I mean, he sounds booty. He just likes to get his booty ate. So, but yo, that all that music is regional down here, and it was our foundation. But because of that, we had a lot of people that were coming down here to vacation for that party scene. We've had great nightlife scenes out here, and coming up in the 90s and early 2000s, we had doors open for us to be doing shows like what you guys are doing now up in Massachusetts and Rhode Island, up in that whole area, with the shows popping off. We had a really good center of venues that were opening the doors for just the local MCs out here, the local groups that popped off. I don't know if you have heard of Mayday, right? Signed to Strange Music. Mayday's from our own backyard, and Recognize and Burn in their earlier inception, the first Mayday, which was Burns and Plex Luthor, they all came up in the Miami underground and South Florida underground, just building good music and putting out good music here. And you guys know what it's like to make good music, to be completely about your craft and make it, but it stay regional, it stay local. And it's all about now what we're tapping into is Florida's a long state, man. It's 12 hours to drive out of here, right? Yeah. It's not like you guys over there. You could drive to an hour to New York, an hour over to Pennsylvania, an hour over to Connecticut and stuff. Over here, to get to Atlanta, we gotta trek. Yeah. So the secret now and what we've been getting into is how to spread our music outside of Florida to other states across seas, and luckily now with what we got going on with the digital age and this network of DJs playing us, we've been getting heard outside, man. So it's dope.
Yeah, that's the beauty of this platform. It allows things to spread organically.
Yes. Wow, man.
I mean, with hip hop, if it's good, it's gonna hit with somebody.
I salute the Hip Hop Lifers page for that, man, because since I become a member, I always see you guys weekly going through, let's look at hip hop from this country. Let's look at hip hop from this country, from this region, from this state. And you guys always open the door for that. And definitely it's something that's needed, because as hip hop heads, all we need to do is hear something that's dope, and we're like, yo, what's that? Let us do the digging, right? Yeah. And as long as there's platforms that are playing it, man. So salute to the Lifers, man, for always playing dope shit. You guys have always let me post my stuff up there, man. And as newcomer, you guys let me battle in the battle of the 16s and stuff, just to get it out there, man. We spit bars, let's freaking do it. And I always want to make sure that soul flow in the South is represented, because when people think of South Florida hip hop, they think of the Pitbulls, the Trick Daddies, the Rick Rosses, and we want to let them know, nah, man, there's real dope boom bap down here, man. There's real dope left field, underground, soulful hip hop coming out of here, man, and we got a lot of it for you.
Yeah, we appreciate you, man. We appreciate everybody that's a member of this group, because, like we always say, without you guys, there'd be no group. You know, if it wasn't for the music, the group wouldn't have happened, and then everything wouldn't have spread the way it has. And you guys both of you guys have been a big part of that. So we appreciate you guys for sure. But
likewise,
we got our show coming up October 30th. I just wanted to do a little plug. Tapping the Killer MCs.
Yeah, man,
I can't wait to fly up there, man. I gotta fly up there for one of y'all shows, man, because you guys have been freaking putting it down all year, man. Salute to you guys with all the shows you've been throwing. Everything, just so you know, I don't know if you guys ever take a chance. I know I post a weekend bag up on your site all the time, but every time you guys got a show going on, I post a fly on it any way that I could promote it and stuff. And I got in WVCC radio, we got a really dope northern audience and stuff from that Cape area. We're always promoting your shit when it comes out. So anything that the Lifers are doing, man, just know that you guys are getting promoted down here.
Thank you, man. Thank you. We appreciate that. But we're gonna go into a little something we like to do here, like talking about shows.
All right.
You performed. What's your best show you've ever done? And on the flip side of that, what's the worst show you've ever done?
All right. Best show I've rocked. Let me see. Man, I've gotten to open up for my idols, De La Soul. They're my favorite group of all time.
Yeah.
The same night, MF Doom, Most Def opened up for them. Right, it was a great show. I opened up with Recognize at Miami's Mansion, huge freaking club, stacked to the. I was out there. We freaking threw on an old school merengue joint, freaking "Mami enero tarabioso," yo, and the whole crowd. It's in Miami and stuff. It's some salsa shit. And everybody's freaking dancing stuff. We had the crowd rocking stuff. It was that was a really dope experience. I've gotten the chance to rock some really dope shows. I've gotten the chance to host and organize some really dope shows out here, man. Some magical shows where it's like there's no way of anticipating the people that came out to the shows. Worst shows that I've ever done. You ever been booked to start off a show, to open up a show, right? You're one of the first groups going on. So you take your secret bottle and you sneak it into the club and stuff. You're like, all right, there's my bottle. After I get off a stage, I'm gonna fucking drink all night. I'm gonna be good. Bomb. So we get to the club and we go talk to the promoter. And they're like, yo, a couple people found out that you guys are on the bill and they don't think it's proper for you guys to be rocking that early and stuff, right? They want to put you on like second to right before the headlining act.
Oh, I think I know where this is going.
Yeah, man. And my boys are like, hell yeah, bomb, great opportunity. And me, I get real nervous out in public events and stuff. And I'm there slowly sipping. So, man, by the time I hit stage, I couldn't remember the second line of any song. I was slurring through songs. Horrible. They say I freaking insulted some Chinese girl in the crowd and stuff. It was freaking horrible. I couldn't remember shit. But after that, they held the 2-on-2 battle. And I got up in battle with Recognize as my team member and we slaughtered everybody. But during the show, it was freaking embarrassing. I think the next Monday they called into the local college radio station. They're like, yo, that guy from the Illiterates 8ch20wens an asshole. He's racist. He was calling out Chinese people. And I don't know what, blacked out, freaking drunk on stage. Not good, man. So make sure if you're going to be performing, keep the part in for afterwards, man. Be professional about it.
Oh, definitely. I got rules for that shit. I'm like, no more than 3 beers and only beer before, if that. And don't smoke too much either.
Yeah, and smoking.
A little is okay, but
I got up on stage about to freaking perform once, and I was mad hyped up, and my boys are like, "Yo, take a hit of this," and he passed me a Black and Mild, and I never smoked. At that time, I didn't smoke cigarettes, and I've never smoked a Black and Mild. All I've smoked is blunts. And I pulled that shit hard as fuck, like it was a blunt. That shit punched me dead in my chest, and I go up on stage, and they pass me the mic. I'm like,
you're like, hold on,
I can't breathe. The worst stuff. Talk about breath control, but yeah, live performances. If we learned anything through the quarantine and COVID is before you get out there on stage, man, you better make sure you get your practice in. Jada Kiss showed everybody, this is the bar. I know all y'all been recording in your homes, sitting with your desk mic up and stuff, and just relax and stuff. Get your practice on, man.
You gotta dial in.
Man, performing is a whole different beast. I remember when I started rocking my first shows after COVID and coming back out. And man, by second song, Winded, like I still got 3 or 4 songs left. How am I gonna get through? Hold on, let's talk a little. DJ.
Every artist that we've had on any bill has been like super professional.
Wow.
Which is great. Like I have one or two little issues, but nothing really major. That's dope. It's like you don't have to be somehow some people are divas about it, and they're gonna give you shit about shows, or they want to do this and they want. You just run with it, man. If you're gonna be put on a spot, you're gonna be put in the third spot. Do the third spot. If you're gonna be the headliner, be the headliner.
But
do what you're asked to do.
Man. But you guys know, and we're talking from 2 different sides because now, Brad, you're on the promoter side. Right. Now you're on the show organizer side. Right. Shah, you're on the artist side. I've been on both sides of it, so I understand when the artist comes and says, "Yo, when do I go on? Yo, when do I go on? My peoples are here already." Yeah, you and your peoples just walk through the door, homie. There's people that have been here since it opened. Come on, let's rock together. But we know that dealing with MCs, I know, man, I'm an MC. I'm from a crew of MCs. Salute Pro Fresh. I know the egos that you're dealing with. I know the kind of people. MCs are the most entitled people. The most entitled element of hip hop is the MC, right?
Absolutely. And in a group like that, the dynamic and the egos bouncing off each other, it's crazy.
When you're dealing with the elements, when you're dealing with the four elements of hip hop, right? B-boys are all respect each other, because to be respected as a B-boy, you got to put in the time on the floor, man. You got to put in the time. Fucking, it's exercise. You're sweating out there. You're busting it. You're all in this together and doing the same work to be out there. So when they see you in a cypher and you go out there and you're dancing, they're like, yeah, that man's put in the work for it. Bomb. And they respect it. A graph writer, yo, you got to be out on the street, man. You got to be fucking getting up, right? So you got to be putting in the time. So they respect it. MCs, I wrote a rhyme. I'm dumb. Oh, you got.
But let's be clear. That's a rapper.
Well, yeah,
that's not an MC.
But no, a lot. But when we're talking about MCs, we're talking about, yo, anybody who starts off as an MC to walk down that road, if you want to be that, right? You gotta, yo, it takes balls to say, I think I can sound as dope as Jay-Z. I think I could write something as dope as Lupe Fiasco. You know what? I can write the next fucking Devil May Cry, right? Yo, it takes some balls to think I can write something that dope, and to start in your room writing it. And it takes progression, man. Now,
I was going to say progression is the key, because some people, like, you got a Nas who was like, boom, 18, nasty, clearly. That was his nickname. But then you got other people who start here and then get better and better and better and better over time. Like a Jim Jones. He sucked ass, let's be honest, at first. But now he's dope. And he's gotten
now did Jim, that's the whole thing. Did Jim Jones suck ass, or did we just hear the shit that he was writing because they were trying to blow up? They were trying to put out rock music. They were trying to put out Rockefeller type music. They were putting out a that sound.
But he just couldn't rap all that well at that time. But that's like, I look at my early stuff like that too myself. So everybody goes through it except the chosen few.
I feel you. There's some that are touched there, like from the get-go. A loop, like, God, Jesus, man, freaking everything that brother has penned down. But there's a lot of cats that before you ever heard them, what were they doing since they were younger, man? And that's what I like to get into in my interviews when I interview cats on WVC. What was it like before we see you and stuff? What's the grind like getting up to that? Because you don't sell me a story that you were just that dope. Don't sell me the story that you go in there and everything's a one take fucking Tony, man, because that's not real. That's not everybody's story, right? And there's those of us that have been out there in ciphers grinding and getting roasted and coming back and getting better and bomb and making it and being that gnat that, yo, out here in South Florida, I was that gnat. Okay. I was that annoying dog. I used to freaking rollerblade to my high school, rocking a freaking Christian summer camp freaking shirt with a rocket on it, right? Because I used to be a Christian MC. I grew up in the church and stuff, and I would go rollerblading with some golf pants and a freaking propeller hat and rollerblade into school freaking late as fuck because I skipped first and second period. I would just go for lunch and freaking walk up into a cipher and start fucking roasting motherfuckers because I was an oddball, yo. I always loved the oddball MCs. I always loved the lefty shit. But because of it, the cats who were doing hip hop serious out here that were trying to get signed, that were trying to get on the radio, they always saw me as this motherfucker is a jester. This guy's a fucking joke. But I stayed at it and they couldn't deny it. And now my peers that I grew up with out here, salute to Garcia from Crazy Hood Productions, Crazy Hood Film Academy, that has filmed freaking videos for Kodak Black, MTV Music Award winning videos for what's this guy who got killed by Eminem, Machine Gun Kelly, freaking EFN freaking that's got Drink Champs. These are all my peers and my elders that raised me up in this group that wouldn't play my music when I first put it out, that wouldn't put me on an open mic because they're like, that's H, he's a freaking, that guy's off the wall and shit. But staying at it till the point that when everybody else turned their back on hip hop, I was like, nah, this shit is still fucking raw as hell. Check out all this shit that we have. And now, man, we're leading the vanguard of it. And there's a lot of us, man. There's a lot of us that during that drought, during that spell of the 2000s, I saw on the Hip Hop Lifers today, they were talking about the Ransom album and how all the beats sound like freaking early 2000.
Yeah, and I listened to that today, and that isn't as bad as Anthony said.
No, man, freaking,
I digress.
I take all the critiques from Anthony with a grain of salt, or from anybody in freaking the Lifers. Really, I'm like, I gotta listen to that myself. Let me see. But
yeah, we all
it wasn't really that bad. But what I'm saying is, during that era, right, there was a lot of fucking garbage hip hop for us that grew up on some real pure shit. There's a lot of garbage hip hop that made us just say, okay, either I'm gonna make my own shit and just listen to my shit and my crew shit, right, which is what I did, right, or I'm just gonna stay listening to my old Organized Confusion, my old freaking Ruckus Records, my old freaking Def Jux collection, my old freaking Stone's Throw collection, and that's what I'll just stay on and stuff. But while
there was good stuff too, you just had to dig deeper.
That's the whole thing. But while we were doing that, there was still people that were staying true, like the Razzcazzes, right?
Murs.
Like Mellow Music, right? Like the Murs, freaking Murs keeps on putting out, like, yo, if A$AP Rock, man, could freaking put out an album and tour and sell, like, there's an audience out there for good hip hop, man. And A$AP Rock is freaking my favorite MC, but I understand I can't show A$AP Rock to just your average hip hop listener. He speaks in Alien. Right.
Yeah, it's like Cool Keith. Like, yeah, you gotta have a certain ear and
exactly and a funk for it, right? You have to know, okay, this guy's fucking crazy, and he's about that. He's like what's homie from the West Coast that passed away years ago?
Mac Dre.
Mac Dre. He was like that, like freaking playful with it, where it's like, is he serious? No, it's alter ego and shit, and he's just, you have to be in the mood for that. But yeah, man. There's a large enough audience for it, and if it's not locally in your local city, right, there is a large enough audience globally, right, so that Sha Elemental and Speak could sell their records globally and make a living off of it and do what they love, right, so that we could push our music and be part of the hip hop conversation now, modern, man, and make something that puts a dent in it. And I'm super amped up to be part of hip hop in this era, man, in 2022, because I think, we're part of freaking golden.
It's almost like the second golden age.
Yeah, man. It's a golden era renaissance for sure, man. And we are the painters in it at a time where, remember, even in the Renaissance, man, those artists weren't hailed as great until after
they were gone.
Man. Yeah, we get.
That's the thing. I look at people like us as people who like really love this shit. Otherwise, we probably wouldn't be doing it, because a lot of the time we don't get the credit. I don't want to sound cocky, but we don't get the credit we deserve sometimes for what we do, in a way. Not necessarily like in a, mainstream, all that bullshit type of way, but just sometimes people scoff at it. You know what I mean? Like you were saying earlier about when you'd go to school and all that, and certain people would look at you a certain way, say, oh, that's the goofy kid with the fucking spinny thing on his hat and all that shit. You know what I mean? But it's like, in the end, we're still standing and we're still doing it.
And that's what you have to respect. When I tell somebody, who is the best MC, and I say A$AP Rock, who's that? You might not know him, but he fucking lives very comfortably off of his career. Anytime he drops merch, he sells out. Anytime he drops albums, he sells out. He can tour wherever. And not only that, but here's his Guinness Book entry for being the MC with the most words used.
Oh, the biggest vocabulary.
With the biggest vocabulary used in hip hop, right? Yep. These are metrics that you can measure, right? So it doesn't matter that you don't know them. Somebody does. If I tell you right now, oh, you ever read the Dark Tower series by Stephen King? Nah, I never read that shit. That shit's fucking amazing, whether you read it or not, right? I took that trip. You should have been there. Sorry, right? But and that's it. And I think in a big way, that's what we hold dear as underground hip hop heads or hip hop heroes. We like that we know something that everybody doesn't. Right, we like that we found the dope shit that everybody, and that you don't like it. Oh, I know. Yeah, it sounds freaking weird, doesn't it? Yeah, go ahead. Freaking smells funky, right? And it's like you ever watch what's his name, Andrew Zimmer and stuff on freaking eating all the crazy foods and shit.
Oh yeah, that dude's nuts.
Yeah, if that man says something tastes bad, don't ever eat that shit.
Yeah, but I wouldn't eat half of it anyway.
But. Yeah, but when my man sees something, he's like, oh, rot. What the fuck, yo? Yeah. But he's got that trained palate where he could find the beauty in it, and he's like, oh, this tastes like pure rot, right? And he describes it to you because he knows you're gonna see that shit as ill, and that's like what we like, man. The fucking how do you show Necro to somebody for the first time? How do you like? Oh, what kind of rap do you like? Oh, here, freaking, I'll fucking fuck your mother's
actually,
eyeballs.
that one's easy. Drug. The LL remake he did. I Need Drugs.
Oh, that one's dope as hell. Yeah,
that's that's the transition into it, and then you're like, all right, now let's go over here.
Yeah, man, it's freaking some shit. Or just real. And what's dope is that you have your gateway underground MCs like your Kendricks and your J. Coles and your Jids and stuff, and that's what I love about that new wave of MCs like the Mick Jenkins, like the Saba, like the Jids, like the Earth Gangs. That if there's kids like that rhyming, then there's kids that are listening to them that are saying, yeah, I know that there's the Lil Uzi Verts, and I know that there's the whoever, I don't know any of those kids' names.
The little and the young.
All the little everything's, right? But I like this here, right? And that takes some. How many kids got into underground hip hop because of Kanye? And they're like, yeah, I know that The Rock's got all this here and shit, but I like how Kanye spits. Yeah, and then oh shit, who's this Kweli cat? Oh shit, who's this Black Thought cat? Oh, bomb, and then you slide in there. So there's your little gateway cats. But the more you go into, you're like, I want to hear something more that sounds different. I want to, and then you end up in freaking in Hail Mary Melon land and stuff, and you're like, oh, mommy, don't leave me alone here, right? And it's freaking, but it's dope shit, man. You end up with the freaking with the slumlords over there, freaking by the garbage can, and it's freaking, and it's rawness, because what's dope about it, what's the dopest is that form of hip hop you can find in little cities like ours, and when you see that and you're there live, right, you're like, oh yeah, this is fucking raw right here. This is where it's going on. And we're building those communities again, man. And people that were away from those communities because they thought that shit died now are coming back, and they're like, oh yeah. And it's making a place where people could do business, man. Salute to freaking our family out in Australia, man. Rawside Hip Hop, he's getting freaking promoted at all your guys' shows, man. We got to start sending merch to each other's shows, man, to have it on consignment, records and stuff. We have to become that network. Yeah, man, where it's, I got artists that are going up that way and stuff. When can they stop in with you? I've told every artist every last Saturday of the month, you guys, if you coming down to Miami, make sure you do it at the end of the month, and I got you on a stage on the last Saturday of the month. I can do that over here. But by doing that, we form our own little chitlin circuit, at least on the East, and we do a weekend, and then we connect with people out West, and we connect it like that. What we all have to do is freaking start talking to Paca the Plug or freaking Ron Shaw and stuff, and find out who's going to start flying us out to freaking France and Europe and shit, and that way we can start making some dough off of this show, because I need some fucking euros, freaking
correct. And they love our shit too.
They do, man. There's a fucking
almost more than people here do in a way. It's crazy. We got to strike before they start turning into all the freaking all the whack shit stuff. Before the Swiss beats start taking off over there now and shit.
Yeah, the internet has brought everything together, really.
Yeah, man.
The internet brought everything together. So another little segment we got here, speaking about the internet, is Tales from the Internet.
All
right. It could be good. It could be bad. We'd rather hear the bad shit, the crazy shit.
You want me to bring up my Pornhub freaking history real quick?
No, you aren't going to go that far. Don't be giving us your OnlyFans list or anything like that. But what's your craziest story interacting with somebody on the internet?
Oh shit, craziest story interacting with somebody on the internet. Man, honestly, I'll tell you one thing. Like I told you, dealing with MCs in a live show, that shit was stressful. I also ran a battle league, an acapella rap battle league for 2 years out here, Street Wars. You can still look up Street Wars rap battles on YouTube. You'll fucking see me a lot skinnier hosting battles and shit. And once again, dealing with MCs, there's not a more stressful freaking breed of people to have to freaking cater to. But when I started doing the online show, that changed, man. Everybody's real. I guess people have done the homework about, when you're going to send out freaking a song for placement to a radio, be professional and stuff. So that really filters out a lot of that. A lot of the emails that you get, and for everybody listening at home, right, that you want to get your music placed on DJs playlists and stuff. Be professional when you send it out. Don't spam them. Don't send them freaking email after email after email. Send them one song, see if that hits in 2 weeks or a week. Send them another one if you want, and be professional with it. Make it look nice and stuff. We look out for that, but we don't have time to be reading a dissertation either, right? Just make that shit look catchy and stuff. Give us the link, and we good for it. But because of that, I haven't had really too many problems with artists online or people communicating with me online. I got this one brother, right? And this isn't a bad thing or anything, but salute to my brother out in Africa. His name is Zumi, right? It's an MC called Zumi. This brother has a track with Verbal Kent. This brother has a track with UGG, freaking Cellar Dwellers. He's like, he gets his money up, right? I do write-ups on the Weekend Bag every week and stuff, and we ask for support for the station and stuff. Sponsor us with the support and stuff. We'll cover your music and stuff. We'll keep it on rotation for the week. We do that as a barter system. And I hit Zumi up. Well, Zumi hit me up. He said, like, my friend, he's always hit me up. My friend, I have a new song. Bum, Zumi, Verbal Kent. I'm like, bro, how you want a song with fucking Verbal Kent? And he's fucking rapping and freaking in African, man, whatever his region's dialect is. And he always takes beats from my producer, DJ Proof out here in Miami's freaking Bandcamp page. And Proof's there like, yeah, man, that's Zumi. Zumi's been recording over my beats for like the last 5 years. I'm there like, and does he ask you for it? He's like, nah, he just sends me the link when it's already recorded. he takes the beats from his instrumental page, just records. He's like, my friend here, new song with your beat. He's like, oh, but that's Zumi, whatever, man. But over there, he's got a little following in Africa, and he's got this track with Verbal Ken. He sent me the track with UGG, and then I see it freaking spinning on Shade 45. Man, he's getting around. But I hit Zumi up, and I'm here like, yo, Zumi, I do the write-ups and stuff. I'll do the write-up if you can sponsor the station and stuff. He's there like, oh, my friend, I'm sorry. I'm in Africa. I make no money, right? But please play my music. I'm there like, man, Zumi's got his freaking pitch down tight, dog. He's like, I make no money. Somehow he freaking scrounges up money to freaking pay Verbal Kent and UGG for a feature and stuff. But really dope MC from out there. And it was just dope when you get interactions like that, man. Salute. We're going to have the homie Melly Mel, homie that rolls with Tone Spliff, right, from out in Africa, from South Africa. He's going to be on the show, I think, next Tuesday. We're interviewing him, and he's agreed to stay up till 3 a.m. to do the interview with us. Freaking crazy. But he just dropped a really dope album with the DJ out there. We're going to be talking to him, and just being able to talk to people from everywhere, man, being able to interview freaking my heroes, man. I've been able to interview Homeboy Sandman. I've been able to interview freaking Wordsworth, freaking Queen Heroine the other day. I interviewed from the Juggernauts, mind exploding and stuff. She's there talking about freaking ciphering with freaking indelible MCs when they first met up and stuff, and J Treads and stuff, all of them going and building and stuff and freaking battling other groups and stuff. Yo, mind blown, dog. And just things that I never thought that I'd be able to do as a fan of hip hop, but just by putting your best foot out there and saying, yeah, I'm gonna do this because I love to, right? And you never know what is gonna open up from that, man. And I want to send that message out to everybody, bro. Anything you feel passion for, you feel love for, and yeah, man, and you feeling that doubt, well, will they like it? Oh, will it work? Bro.
And don't listen to nobody either.
Nah, man, just do it.
You love it, and because like fuck everybody. If you love it, fuck everybody. Do what you want to do, no matter what it is. Don't matter. I don't give a shit. If it makes you happy, have at it. I hope you love it. Make the best of it. Because if we didn't do that, we wouldn't even be having this conversation.
Exactly, man. And those are the doors that, like right now, Shaw's there like, all the hard work we put into it and people don't appreciate it. And I understand what you mean, Shaw. The people in our immediate vicinities, right? You guys, I don't know if you guys ever read the Bible. I grew up with in church and stuff.
I've read it.
Yeah. I remember reading in the New Testament is like, and Jesus said, a man's never a prophet in his own town to his own people and stuff. I remember reading that. I'm like, oh, sounds like wise words, right? But it's the truth, man. No matter what you do, no matter what it is you do, you could fucking mow the lawn. And your wife's gonna say, "Oh, it looks wrong," but you can mow the lawn for everybody, and they'll pay you money for it, right? But you're never gonna get that support from your immediate vicinity, right? And even with the music, right? But Shaw, you're in Boston.
I'm outside of Boston, about 45 minutes north, so half an hour.
Massachusetts, right?
Yeah.
And you got a motherfucker who's lived in Miami, Florida all his life, bumping your music every week, bro. Right. And he shares it with other people in Miami. Right. Just that same story. Now, we might not see it quantifiable where the money's raking in. Oh, look at those fucking Spotify streams flying through the roof. No, man. But we're doing the slow and steady grind, and it's growing organically, man. Right. Yep. And that's gonna stand the test of time. The people that were part of this story, the people are gonna say, yo, I was with them when and even if you're never on the fucking cover of the Source magazine, I don't know.
Oh, you imagine I missed those days.
Yeah. Online magazine.
Yo, even if you're never on the cover of freaking Raw Side Hip Hop, at least people be like, yo, I remember that Sha Elemental freaking hip hop quotable on it. Yo, I've been putting out music since I put out my first record in 1998, a couple of freaking singles, a Max single I did with a Christian hip hop group. I put out the Little Rats album in 2003 with Recognizing Rudy Goblin. I put out a couple of little CDs here and stuff. Nobody ever heard my shit, just doing shit around here and battling ciphers, rocking a lot of shows, opening up for people. But it wasn't until 2018 when I put out The Spillage, which was the collection of all my older stuff. Then I put out my older album that I had never put it out. I put it up on Bandcamp, The Funk Futuro. And then when I did the Waterproof with DJ Proof, was our first thing that we put up on Spotify and everything. And I'm here like, you see, now everybody's gonna hear me. I'm gonna be a superstar. And no, bro, no, it don't work like that. And I'm like, all I have to do is send it to people who love real hip hop, because people out here in Miami just don't listen to that boom bap shit, so they don't get it. But if I send it to people who love that shit, they're gonna. And I sent it, and it hit. They liked it, but it didn't hit. Like, you gotta keep on knocking. Nobody owes you fucking your dough. No. Nobody owes you shit, man.
You gotta earn that shit.
Yeah, man.
Persistence too.
Yo,
you gotta keep hitting them.
The reason I say Flea Lord is one of the fucking illest motherfuckers out of this generation is because I didn't see, or I couldn't turn anywhere without seeing fucking Flea Lord in 2019.
They put out 12 albums last year.
Dog, every fucking 12 month, an album, bomb, videos here, bomb here. Yo, you kept on here, and Lord, freaking it gets imprinted. West Side Gun, the same thing. The reason that you can say bow, because that motherfucker is a gnat. Yo, you have to be that gnat, putting out that music. It's not the old freaking days where you're gonna put out a freaking record and everybody listen. Have you heard the album I put out 2 months ago yet? No, man, I'm fucking listening to the shit that just dropped this week. You got anything fucking new for me? Bomb. Lendor, salute, brother. I see you out there.
Yeah, what up, William Russ too?
Bomb. Oh, Will Russ, brother, out in the island. What's good, man? Yo, Will Russ is a fucking fantastic article writer.
Yes, he's very good with the pen.
I told Will anytime he wants to lend us freaking articles, so I don't have to write so many, we could use his pen over at freaking the Weekend Bag at WVCC, man.
Yeah, he's one of the best writers out there right now too. Him and Brutus, man. Brutus kills it too.
Yo. Although I wish they'd be more critical. I gotta say that.
Well,
negatively. Anyway.
Will's Canadian, so I don't think he.
Yeah, it's true. It's not in him.
Well, let's talk about it. And now that I got you guys on about this, because as a journalist, right, and when I write, I tend to not try to criticize the artist. There's freaking plenty that you could criticize. If you have a critical eye and you're looking at shit just to you could freaking dog the shit out of anything, right? Oh, this ain't gonna hit. Oh, this guy thinks he's a super MC. There's always two ways of looking, or you could look at what's dope in it and point out that, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Now, when we were growing up and we saw articles like in the Source, when you saw the 5 mics or the freaking,
and that's why I brought that up.
Yeah, I wonder how those fucking journalists didn't get their asses whooped all the time, dog.
For real,
right? Because they would be freaking blatantly, and I'm here like, well, they have
sometimes they'd like straight up shit on albums.
Yeah, they would straight. Yo, there were albums that had bad runs because they gave it a whack ass look the first week, man, and they ended up being great albums.
The Firm album, perfect example. It's a flop because it wasn't what everybody expected or necessarily wanted it to be, so they didn't appreciate it for what it was. But to me, that's still a classic album.
I hate.
There's a couple throwaway joints.
Well, I think the other way on the Firm, there's a couple fucking classics on it. The Cannabis track, the phone tap and shit,
special.
Right? But
I'm leaving.
Fire. But there's some tracks on it that was like
too commercial.
But maybe at that time that was heavily based on reading because I remember the source giving it like fucking 3.5 mics and stuff,
Yep.
right? Freaking real bad rating. And there's some albums that they gave 5 mics to that maybe didn't deserve it. Right?
The Chronic didn't get 5 mics.
Look at that. Wow. I will always tip my hat to him because they did give freaking 5 mics to De La Soul Is Dead and stuff, which I feel is a classic album, freaking all hip hop. But I always wonder, should I be more critical? There have been some albums that I reserve to throw a little jab, hey, this and that. But let's look at this side of it and stuff. And I don't know. You know why I do it really? Because I don't want to deal with the
negativity,
the big-headed MC afterwards.
Right.
So along with doing WVCC radio and the Weekend Bag and organizing shows out here, I do publicist work, just like Brad does up there. I do publicist work for some local artists out here. We use our network of the DJs that we network with the blogs that we network with, to get them shine outside of Florida. So there's this artist that I represent, Salute Choco Valens. Choco Valens is a real ass motherfucker, and he is crazy. This motherfucker is fucking he's volatile, right? And he's the coolest cat ever, but he don't like motherfuckers freaking shitting on his shit because he's real on some. Who the fuck are you? Where were you when I was in the fucking gym practicing, dog? Who are you to shit on my fucking shit? This is my fucking art. He's real on that shit, and he goes off. So I was representing him for freaking a couple of months, and man, I was getting so many freaking messages. Yo, the guy's music that you sent me, yo, I played his music and we critiqued it, and he hasn't stopped stalking me for like the last week.
Yeah.
I feel like, yo, that's the kind of shit I don't want to deal with, dog. Right? And yo, here's the music and stuff. If it's real dope, I'll get into depth. If it's something that's I'll pick out what freaking I like about it, what people might like. I could also put myself, I'm an empath, so I put myself in other people's shoes, and I could put myself in the shoes of somebody who likes something more boppy, something more new sounding, something more trappy and stuff. And I could put myself in that shoes and say, if you like this, right? If you don't like that, you're gonna press play and you're gonna be like, this shit's whack. Okay, fine, bomb.
That's the thing. It's always about perspective and what your personal tastes are too. Like the Ransom album, perfect example.
He said he didn't like it. You listen to it, you're like, what are you talking about, bro? This isn't that bad, right? Bomb. There's a couple albums like that, right? The Kendrick, right? When the Kendrick was coming out, freaking Kendrick got sacrificed on the altar of hip hop lifers and stuff. You guys were freaking pissing on his fucking pictures and shit on there, right? And then the album,
didn't even listen to it, but it's not for me.
Yo, and
I knew that going in, so I'm not gonna.
A lot of people didn't even give it a chance but I mean, like, whatever. I didn't get into the Section 8 album. I got into a little of the Pimp the Butterfly. I listened to the Damn. I appreciated the Damn for what it was and what he was doing for this era. I'm like, if this era is listening to this, it's not that bad. And then what he does the new one, writing wise, is fantastic. And I listen to him.
Right.
Yo, his freaking great writer, great performer, his inflictions, his freaking choice of freaking production. I mean, he's got Ghostface on it. Yo, I mean, it's a fantastic album, and it's got some of have you guys heard it?
I personally haven't, but I don't. Okay. I actually like Schoolboy Q and Absol better than him personally, for my taste, as far as Black Hippie goes. So,
gotcha.
But he definitely has had some starring moments on some of their tracks, I will say.
Have you heard the music, the song with him arguing with his girl?
Yeah,
I think so. Yeah,
that shit right there, as annoying.
Conceptually, it's great.
If I'm listening to the album and stuff, and that song comes on, and my girl's like walking in the room, I'll just change it. I'm like, no, I'm not stirring that pot, because that shit is fucking fueled with just that spirit of freaking. You know when you fighting with your girl, you fighting with fucking somebody, and that conflict that you know that there's just a demon in there, like yeah, bomb. That fucking song is that shit.
Because you're really fighting with yourself too.
Yeah, man. Yo, that shit just fucking sounds like fucking seeing red, right? For him to be able to deliver that in a song where you could play that and that shit, it's like being in a red room that it affects you. You start feeling agitated and stuff. But yo, I respect that, man. That's some musicianship, man. So once again, I could respect that lane even if it's not all I listen to, right? If I'm in a car and somebody's just listening to that, I'll be like, bro, please slip yo, you want to hear this freaking track from RJ Payne? You ever heard of RJ Payne? Yo, let me show you this Kambata real quick, right? But I could understand people listen to that, especially down here in South Florida. And I got to cater to my audience too. So I'm catering to an audience down in South Florida that I'm trying to introduce to underground hip hop. And I got to say, yo, this sounds like what you guys like. Try this out too. Bomb. This sounds like freaking this, and give them that different, all those different looks. And also I got people that are saying, yo, I'm supporting your station. Help promote me. And it's about marketing, brother. So we're trying to promote that platform where we could say, yo, check out this guy's album. This is an artist that you should look into. Right. And
I want to roll back to the criticism. Some people take critique and disrespect as the same thing.
They're not. I know for me, when they review my albums, sometimes I've been like, I wish they said something bad. Because I want to know what I'm not doing right too.
Word.
You know what I mean? So I can address it. If nobody's giving me that feedback, then I'm gonna think I'm the perfect. You know what I mean?
And you're not
but
growing.
Luckily, I got my crew and shit to help me with EXP, with Jay Kinzer, and everybody else in the group. They let me know anyway. We all check each other. That's another thing you gotta have.
That's how you suck anyway.
That last Kinzer album was fucking fire, man.
Yeah. Yo, he's been on a roll. Like, me and him have just been steadily dropping shit for the last couple of years. Like, and I know he's definitely been getting a lot better. Every drop, every one.
The last album was fucking great. I love that. But once again, and I guess that's why I got an artist that I represent called King Tetris out here. Salute Tetris. And he always hits me up whenever he drops a new single. He sends it to me first. He's like, check it out. I'm like, oh, this shit's fucking fire. They're gonna love it. He's like, no, that's not what I'm looking for. How do you like it? Critique it. What do you think? And I'm like, you want me to go in on it and shit? I'm not like, I could, I guess, pinpoint little fucking shits and stuff. But really, the whole thing is this, guys, that when I put out the music for people to listen to like that, I'm looking at it as this is the hip hop audience, right? The hip hop audience hears it a little bit different than we do, guys, right? You'll hear it all the time from artists and from producers and from engineers, that once you go into that life, you don't listen to music the same. You're there like freaking, you're watching. It's like, how did he deliver that? Oh no, his breath control was off there. Oh no, this fucking highs are off. The mids could be better. Right. But that's not the way that we used to listen to music, bro. It used to be magical. We used to think that motherfuckers used to just come out and look that motherfucking cool. Right. And no, man, that shit fucking, that's all rehearsed. That's all an act, man. And it's all fucking, it's showmanship. Right.
Well, especially imagine back in the day, the people we grew up listening to, how much of that actually was showmanship, because we didn't have the look behind the scenes that we see now and all the access we have. Like, we saw them, you would see, like, if you were a fan of Ice Cube, you probably saw like 2 days of his life a year if you were lucky.
Word.
You know what I mean? With whatever music and then whatever content you might see with videos and shit. But like, that's such a small slice of the big picture. So what went into making that, you know what I mean?
Yeah, that's why I read once in a Chuck D book that Flavor Flav wanted to rap, but he didn't know how to rap that good, but he just wanted to be there with Public Enemy, and freaking Chuck was there like, we need him here, and freaking they were there like, well, what does he do? Right? We're just gonna have him on stage, and Flavor Flav said, just give me some white gloves. They said, what? Just give me some white gloves. And he would dress all in black with white gloves and do this all over the stage just to attract. And he made that shit up, bro. I was watching I Ain't No Joke the other day, right? And I was thinking, no, I think that was Paper Thin. My bad, freaking wrong. So freaking, but I Ain't No Joke. Freaking, Flavor Flav comes out just doing this joint right there. That shit ain't a TikTok dance, dog. This shit right here, that shit ain't a TikTok dance, but that shit blew up. And
it could have been the drugs too.
Everything could have been the drugs, but everybody at that time started doing that shit because it was just making up shit on the fly and thinking, yo, how could I freaking make this look dope? Right. And that's all it is. It's freaking hip hop is showmanship. And if you're getting up there, right, if you're getting up on a stage thinking you entertaining, spitting your freaking really meticulous rhyme, and then walking to the left and spitting your meticulous rhyme, and walking to the right and spitting your meticulous rhyme, bro, we're gonna kill the hip hop audience doing that. Guys gotta freaking start thinking, yo, and that's why guys gotta go out to these shows, man, and see real. We just had Wu, Nas, and Busta.
That's why I was gonna say Busta. Perfect example.
So we just had Wu, Nas, and Busta out here.
You want to see shows and you should be approaching it. Watch Busta. Watch the Roots live. Those two right there will like kind of let you know.
But you see the Roots, okay, because you have to have a band and stuff, maybe, right? But with Busta, yo, I just saw a show where there was 7 dudes on stage during the Wu set, and then there was just Nas and his DJ. And if Nas's DJ, if Green Lantern wasn't paying attention to what part of the song was on and didn't back Nas up on the ad lib, it sounded like Nas was just saying 2 words and going silent, and 2 words and going silent, right?
Yeah.
I've seen live show. Before. Yeah, man. Fucking the Wu, 7 people on stage looking boring because they're just walking around and rapping with 7 people standing side by side. None of the ruckus that they used to be, right?
Now, like an Onyx show or something back in the day.
Yo, we saw Onyx on
Friday. That's how EXP, we try to get down like that too.
And that's what you got to do. The crowd's got to feel that energy. Wow. And when they feel that, and you guys come from, I mean, I know Speak comes from that punk rock, live rock, freaking
he does definitely
culture and stuff. You guys up there, being from a college town, being from college cities, you guys are into those live shows, and you have to have that mentality when you're throwing a live set. You're here to entertain people. How you gonna freaking hit people with something that they don't expect? And I try to incorporate that into my radio show, man. Make sure that shit's always fun. Make sure that shit's popping. Say off the wall shit in our live shows, and definitely, man, it's just knowing that you gotta keep on and being a showman. And I don't think that shit gets old, bro. You saw God rest his soul, man. Biz Marquis, till freaking the very last day, he was a showman, and he didn't have to be freaking all over the place, anything, just by standing there and doing his freaking Biz Marquis dance. Bomb, nasty. He knew how to freaking rock a crowd just with his vocal cords, man, and freaking beatbox. That shit right there is the most genius shit ever. That a motherfucker said, I can't afford the turntables, and everybody else raps and stuff, but people need somebody to fucking drop a beat while they rap. I'm gonna get a fucking
there's some impressive beatboxers out there too.
Somebody Rozelle fucking
I got my boy Dave Allen. It's funny. This dude is like the whitest white bread, like you would think he played golf or something like that. Like just you would never ever in your life think this dude could beatbox like that. And this dude, he can do anything with his mouth. It's insane. You want a hip hop beat, he'll give you some ill shit. He can do some techno stuff where it's like beating his throat and it's like
that shit is fire, yo.
It's insane.
You throw somebody in one of your shows, you bring somebody up to the mic like during an intermission that does that, and they'll fucking set the place on fire. We got a couple people out here. Salute Kamikaze, salute to freaking Miami Beatbox out here. They're nasty with it, and we use them all the time. But having somebody like that, I was in line to get merch at the Wu show, and I'm just looking around for somebody ciphering, just hungry to fucking tear somebody's head off, man. And I'm here like, nobody's rhyming after this shit. There's nobody rhyme out here. Who's got a beatbox? And that's all you need. Somebody to fucking drop a beatbox to set the fucking shit ablaze. And once somebody does, man, somebody's gonna start rhyming, and somebody else is gonna come in and be that catalyst wherever you are. Be the guy who's still sharing the music. What we got to find out, guys, is how to start sharing it with the next generation and start turning it on. There was somebody who turned us on to the Beatles. There was somebody who turned us on to Led Zeppelin. There was somebody who turned us on to freaking Coltrane and to fucking Jill Scott Heron and to freaking to Luther
Simone,
Nina Simone,
et cetera. Like,
bomb. We have to pass this shit on to the next generation, because if not, it's gonna keep looking like just old head shit. And I have a really good faith that it finds a way of doing it itself, right?
What kind is right now? The Griseldas.
The first thing that has to be found is the common ground. That's the first thing. Once they find common ground, then the generational gap becomes a little shorter. So, but
that element's always there, I think.
Yeah, it all seeps into every generation. Like you said, somebody showed us Cream and showed us Led Zeppelin and showed us all that shit and showed us all the beginning of hip hop. So, but it all spreads back around. It's all a circle. Life's a circle.
Well, give it to you kids.
keeps revolving. The universe wants us to do it, it'll do it.
Salute to our brothers in arms, man, like freaking Weapon ESP, like Ghost of the Machine, man. Salute to my man Serum. Salute to the Motivational Edge. They are actively out there, and that's another thing, man. As people who are participating in this hip hop culture, in this hip hop community, and in this current renaissance, let us also be minded of, yo, we could do something, and do we want the streets to hear us? Then let's take a part in freaking doing something for the streets. Let's do something to do something for our communities, right? Because they care more about the time that you invest in them than the music that you're making. And that's how you're going to show you're for the streets. If they see you out there doing something for the community, doing something with the kids in the community, doing something to beautify your communities, to help out the homeless. If we got strength in numbers and we could get people out to a show where we make some bread out of it, right? We could also say, yo, we could use the same skill to organize and say, bam, let's do something good for the communities. And that way we get seen in our communities as people that are putting back into it, man. And hip hop keeps that good name, man.
Yeah. And we can lose that stigma over time by doing that.
Yes,
too.
Man. How many, I don't know how it is with shows up there. I know down here it's very hard to go to a venue and be like, yeah, I got an underground hip hop show that I bring.
Same thing.
Nah, we don't want hip hop fucking guns and stuff. And we have to tell them, no, B, it's like poetry and freaking it's like spoken word.
We're just gonna get drunk and have fun. That's it.
But definitely, man, if we're doing things like that in the community and we start getting pressed for that, and we start, man, every one of our communities, every one of our cities has funding that they can give so that you could throw community programs and community shows and community freaking events, right? It's just you guys we all have to be involved in there so that we have a reputation that, yeah, you can freaking trust us with your money. And that's how you then bring up your freaking Immortal Techniques and your freaking and your De La Souls, and you have you wonder, how do we get the budget to do that? Well, have the people with the big money freaking backing and stuff, but first we have to have a reputable name that says, yo, we've been here in this community, we do things for the community, we're a trusted name, bam, and do it.
And do stuff the right way too. A lot of people, like you were saying, like with the people submitting songs to the DJ and stuff, so many people just don't spam people, tag that 50 other rappers in your stuff. Like there's a certain way to do things, and you should be able to see how that is by watching other people who you know are doing things correctly operate.
Yeah, man. You know and reach out, man. One of the best things I ever learned is a brother, a fellow MC, Kingdom Come, told me, yo, there's nothing wrong with reaching out to somebody and say, hey, can you tell me how you did that, man? I'll pay you for some consultation. Shoot them $50 for some consultation. What is that, bro? You're investing in your career if that's what you want to do, or in learning something about, and you're showing him, yo, I respect your time and I respect your knowledge. And that's like, dog. Go ahead.
I didn't teach myself what bars were and bar structure. Somebody showed me.
Yo, if you guys fuck with XP the Marksman is a fantastic independent MC, and he's somebody who just is dope to build with and to get to know as a friend, man, and to just he doesn't son anybody. He's not like, yo, let me talk to you. This is how you do this. Nah, man, he's just mad, down to earth, cool. But just by seeing him move. And he came out with an album produced by Rock Mars. He came out with an album produced by Terminology. He got the album produced by Terminology.
Term's another one.
Yeah, and then Term's the next album, dope dude, man. He just freaking toured with our boy Eckham 1536 out in New Mexico. Really dope dude, man. They toured for a whole week, and he says real down to earth, man, just about the culture and about getting us young cats out there too. But X drops on me. He's like, I recorded that album with Term and the next album with producer Neff that he's got with Dome Piece called Late Night, right? Yeah. He got to record both those albums with him for free. They didn't charge him shit because the first time he went to New York, he called them up. He said, let me go to your studio. And he put money down to go to the studio, and he rented his house, didn't ask for no free shit. He went out there. He did it the right way. He was ready to go out there for business, paid for his studio time, put in work, showed his work ethic. And Term said, yo, I love the way you work. Let's work on an album. And Neff was there like, bam. And while he was there working on the album with Term, every day he would show up mad early to the studio, just be there writing. And Neff's there like, yo, I got this free beat. And they just wrote songs there. And he got both those albums out of that. From going in, you got to be ready to put in music. That's why if you want to invest in yourself as an artist, invest in some features, man. I invested in Homeboy Sandman for a feature for the Southern Comfy album that I just dropped with DJ Glib Styles. And now because of that, we're Homeboy Sandman's plug when he comes down to Miami, right? He already did a show for us for free, right? And that's connecting us with a bunch of other people like Decca, like Ace, right? It's about investing in yourself and making sure you're moving a business, because this is a business, man. It is.
And if you ever want to get anybody to invest in you, you got to invest in yourself.
You got to invest in yourself, man.
Because if you don't believe in it, who the fuck else is going to?
Nah, man. And that's the whole thing. And how do you prove that you believe in yourself? Not by saying, yeah, I'm dope as fuck. Well, put some money on it, man. You got to, right? Nobody, oh, no, but push my music. Why? Why do I have to waste time listening to your shit and writing about it? Oh, because it's dope hip hop. Don't you love dope hip hop? Have you seen how much fucking dope hip hop there is out there? Right? I could fucking spend my life listening to all of that shit. But yo, you want to fucking put it out? Waste the money that you would waste on a bag of fucking weed on fucking pushing and promoting your shit, brother. Right? And it's a no-brainer, man. Right? Just if you love this shit, make good shit to contribute to it. And if you want to take it serious, then invest in yourself, man. Do it properly, act properly, and always do good business, man. Always, because what people have to understand now, we see that a lot in the Hip Hop Lifers group. I think it was dope that G-Fan Black was there. Like, yo, Ransom gave the same verse to two dudes that I know the dudes that paid him, and he gave. I think that's dope. I think it's dope that the community now is getting tight knit like that, where there's accountability, and you can't just jerk us. When freaking Jadakiss starts sending out the freaking DM of, yeah, I like your shit, freaking let's work it. Let me get you on the mixtape and stuff. And everybody's like, yo, I got the Jadakiss one. Yeah, I got it too, fool.
Yo, that shit was hilarious. Yeah. I'm like, yeah, I've been getting that for like 4 months.
Yeah,
like,
come on, bro.
That ain't Jada.
Come back down to earth. You're not getting signed, right?
I was like, yo, I'm like, if you don't stop hitting me up, I'm gonna tell Puff to take his publishing back.
The best is Tone Spliff with who was Tone Spliff again? What was the horse guy that Tone Spliff was getting freaking hit by? He's like, I have beats for you. Freaking some guy was trolling forever. That shit was hilarious. But once again, freaking, because we're a tighter knit community now, you can't get away with shit, man. Me as a promoter, right? I've had to listen to freaking the audience saying, no, we don't want 10 hip hop acts on one night, right? I don't want to go to a show like that, right? And I've heard freaking artists saying, no, I don't want to freaking pay to fucking perform in a night and get tickets to hand out, right? So we've tried to freaking work out here what's the right way of doing it. And when you perform at a Vice City Cypher freaking house party, we got 5 acts, right? And all we do is we give you a link. And whoever wants to come see you and buys a ticket for that, I'm giving you $5 off the $10 ticket. And we splitting our money with our people. We all work on promoting it. We're all breaking bread and bringing people out. Right. And we try to find a way of, as a community, if you don't like the way hip hop shows are going out in your community, do what Brad and freaking the Hip Hop Lifers did. Get together and throw your own shows. And then I invite anybody to do that. You don't like the way the local rap battle league runs in your fucking community? Build your own shit. You don't like the way that music sounds? Make your own shit. Right? You're gonna complain about shit, then fucking do something about it, bro. Don't just be the one there complaining and shit, because there's too much fucking shit to complain about, bro.
Be the solution yourself. Can't find
one. That's it, man. Be it.
Yo, man. This has been good. We gotta wrap it up here tonight.
Thank you, brother. I can talk forever, man, but I'm 4 minutes late to WVCC Site Life Radio.
Yeah, no, I know. I see you watching the time. Thank you so much for coming on, brother.
No, thank you for having me, man. Thank you guys for letting a Hispanic kid from Miami be part of your hip hop crew and freaking part of the Lifers, man, and freaking and sharing my music and freaking and just listening to my fucking wacky shit when I make comments. I know I don't comment as much. I got so much shit I'm involved in, but know that if ever I post something on hiphoplifers.com, on the Hip Hop Lifers group on Facebook, know that shit is fire. It's worth your time to listen. I listen to everything you guys post. Whatever's fire ends up on my show that week. And everybody out there, man, anything you need, WVCC Radio on IG, on Gmail, WVCCradio@gmail. Send me any music you got. If that shit's hot, we playing it on the show. We stream every Tuesday and Thursday from 9 to 12. And me and Glib Styles have the new Southern Comfy. You can get that shit on all DSPs. 8ch20wens. Spell that shit with an 8, motherfucker.
All right, brother, thank you so much, man. Again, appreciate you being on. Now everybody go over to Twitch and watch his show.
Yo, come over to WVCC. We're about to have some fun with Pepe Pingu.
Adios, brother.
Peace, man.
Cha, be good. Brad, be good. Love you guys.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Be good, man. Bomb.
Life is we out.